fancy dress costumes?
Put it on the table.
Oh, but they're in an awful muddle.
I wish I could rip them into 100,000 pieces.
Oh, there's no need to do that. They can easily be sorted out. All it needs is a little patience.
I'm getting Mrs. Linda over to help me.
Going out again in this weather? You'll catch cold, madam, you will.
Wouldn't be the end of the world if I did. How are the children?
Oh, poor little things. They're playing with their Christmas
Do
presents.
they ask for me much?
Oh, they're so used to being with their mummy.
Yes, I know, but Anne-Marie, from now on, I am not going to be able to spend so much time with them.
Oh, little children can get used to it.
Do you think so? Do you think they'd forget their mother if she went away forever?
Wait forever? What do you mean?
Listen, Anne-Marie, I have often thought about this. How could you bear to give away your child to strangers?
I had to. I was going to be little Laura's nan.
And surely you didn't want to.
Oh, a place like this is hard to find. And when a girl's got herself into trouble, she doesn't have a lot of choices. That good-for-nothing man wasn't going to do anything for me.
Surely your daughter must have forgotten about you by now.
Oh, no, she hasn't. She wrote me when she was confined. Again when she was married.
Dear old Anne-Marie, you were a good mother to me when I was little.
Oh, poor little Laura. I was the only mother you ever had.
And I know that if my children had known that you would... Anyway, it's nonsense. Just go on and see them, and I'm going... Well, tomorrow you shall see how lovely I shall look.
Oh, I'm sure at the ball there'll be no one as lovely as my Laura.
I don't dare go out. Suppose someone came here. Suppose something happened here. Think about it. Think about something else. Lovely costume. Stop it. Stop it. Right. That's right. And 1, 2, 4, 5. Oh my God, that's him. Good morning. Dr. Christine. There's no one else out there, is there?
No?
Oh, well, it was good of you to come.
Well, I hear you came by to see me.
Oh, yes. I was just passing. Well, there's something I want you to give me a hand with. It's over on the sofa. Right. Tomorrow we're going to go to the Steinborg's fancy dress ball upstairs, and I'm going to go as a Neapolitan Fisher girl and dance the tarantella, which I learned when we were in Copley.
Oh, I see. You'll give them the full performance, will you?
Yes, that's what Torvald wants. Well, here's the costume. He had it made for me when we were in Italy, but it's badly ripped here. I don't know.
Oh, we'll soon fix that. Oh. Oh, it's just the trimmings come a bit loose in one or two places, that's all. Needle and thread, have you got it? Have you got it?
Oh.
Ah, that's it. That's everything we need.
It's very good of you.
So, you're going in disguise tomorrow, are you, Nora? Do you know, I think I'll come round for a moment so I can see you in all your finery. Oh, I forgot to thank you for a very pleasant evening yesterday.
Oh, I didn't think it was as pleasant as it usually is. You should have come sooner. Christine Torvald really knows how to make her home lovely and welcoming.
I think you do as well. You're not your father's daughter for nothing. Is Dr. Rank always as gloomy as he was yesterday?
No, yesterday was much more noticeable than usual. The thing is, you see, he's very seriously ill, poor man. He's got spinal consumption. Apparently his father was a miserable creature who kept a whole string of mistresses and that sort of thing. So, well, that's why his health has been poor ever since he was a child.
Does Dr. Rank come here every day?
Every single day. He's Torvald's best friend. They've known each other since they were boys. Well, he's a very good friend of mine as well. He sort of belongs
I mean, is he a sincere man? Doesn't he have a tendency to be a bit of a flatterer?
Oh, quite the contrary. Whatever do you mean?
When you introduced me to him yesterday, he said that he had often heard my name in this house. Yet later on, I noticed your husband didn't have the slightest idea who I was.
Well, but that's true, Christina. Well, you know how fond of me Torvald is. He's always saying he wants to keep me all to himself. And when we were first married, and I used to mention any of my friends from home, he would get quite jealous, so I stopped doing that. But, well, I often talk to Dr. Rank about that sort of thing. He seems to enjoy it.
Listen, Nora, I think you should stop all this with Dr. Rank.
Oh, what?
Don't pretend with me, Nora. Do you think I can't guess who lent you the money?
Are you out of your mind? Is that really what you think? A friend of ours who comes here every day? The situation would be absolutely intolerable.
So it really isn't him?
No, I promise you, I had never dreamt of asking Dr. Rank. Mind you, if I had, I'm quite sure that...
Well, which of course you never would, Nora.
Of course not, and well, I can't think that the situation would ever arise again, but if I did speak to Dr. Rank, I'm quite...
Behind your husband's back?
Well, other things behind his back, and I must get out of that. I must.
I know, yes, that is what I was saying yesterday.
He seems so much better than a woman can.
Yes, if he is your husband.
When you pay the money, they give you that IOU back, don't they?
Obviously.
Oh, and you can tear it up into 100,000 pieces and burn it. Filthy, disgusting piece of paper.
Nora, you're hiding something from me. Something has happened since yesterday, hasn't it?
That's horrible. He can't stand to see anyone dressmaking, so why don't you go on in with the children, that's right, and get Anne-Marie to give you a hand.
Nora, all right, but I'm not leaving this house till we've had a serious talk.
I miss you terribly.
Was that dressmaker girl?
No, that was Christine. She's helping me with my costume. It's going to look lovely.
Wasn't it an inspired idea of mine?
It was marvelous. And, well, wasn't it good of me to give in to you as well?
Good of you? To give in to your husband? Oh, ha! Go on with you, you little mate. I know you didn't mean it. Well, I won't disturb you. I expect you want to try it on.
You're going to do some work then now, Torvald?
Yes, I've just been down to the bank.
Well, Torvald,
Yes.
suppose your little squirrel was to ask you for an enormous favor.
Go on.
Well, would you say yes?
It depends what it was.
Your squirrel would jump up and down and do all sorts of tricks for you and be nice and teething.
Oh, now with it.
Your lark would chirp and sing all the things.
Yes, well, but larks always do that anyway.
Well, then I'll sing and I'll dance in the moonlight for you.
Nora, does this have anything to do with what we were talking about this morning?
Yes, Torvald, please.
Nora, do you really have the nerve to bring all of that up again?
You must say yes. You must let Krogstad stay on the thing.
But my dear, I've already given his position to Mrs. Linda.
Yes, that was terribly kind of you, but well, can't you just get rid of someone else instead of Krogstad?
You really are incredibly stubborn. Just because you agreed to put in a good word for him, you expect me
it
to
has
go...
nothing to do with that. You told me yourself that man writes for them despicable newspapers. He could do you untold harm. I'm terribly frightened of him.
Oh, I see. It's old memories that are upsetting you.
What?
Well, you're thinking of your father, I suppose.
Yes, you remember those cruel slanders those malicious people used to write about Papa.
My dear, there is a considerable difference between your father and myself. As a civil servant, your father was by no means irreproachable. I am. And as long as I maintain my position, I hope I always will be.
But no one else but the unscrupulous people are capable of it. We could be so well off now in our peaceful little homes and happy and quiet and carefree. And that's why I'm asking for. That's why it's so important to me.
The more you plead for him, the more impossible it becomes for me to keep him on. Now, people at the bank already know I've dismissed Krogstad. Suppose the rumor were to get around that the new manager had let his mind be changed for him by his wife.
But what if it did?
Oh, well, that's nothing, of course, as long as a certain little stubborn lady gets her way. It only become the laughing stock of the entire staff and make people think I was entirely dependent upon outside influences. Believe me, I would soon suffer the consequences. Anyway, There's one thing that makes it quite impossible for Krogstad to stay on at the bank as long as I'm manager.
Well, what's that?
If necessary, I might be able to overlook his moral limitations.
I know you could.
And I gather he's quite efficient.
Yes.
Thing of it is, well, he was a friend of mine at school. It was one of those rash friendships one so often has cause to regret in later life. Well, he actually calls me by my Christian name. It is so tactless of him, and he always does it, even when other people are there. In fact, he seems to think he's entitled to be as familiar as he likes. He never misses a chance to come out with it. Talk all this, talk all that. I don't mind telling you, Nora, I find it intensely embarrassing.
You can't honestly mean that.
Can't I? Why not?
It's just so petty.
What do you mean? Petty? Did you think I'm petty?
No, I don't.
Well, if you say my behavior is petty, then I must be petty as well. Petty? Oh, I see. Well, now we shall have to make certain we put a stop to that, shan't we? Helene! Helene!
What are you doing, Paul?
I am making a decision. Here, take this downstairs, find the messenger, tell him to deliver it quickly. The address is on the envelope, and here's some money. How much for you, little Miss Obstinate?
Oh, but what was in the letter?
Krogstad's dismissed.
Oh, Tobin, please, please. Let's get it back. There's still time.
It's
Let's
too
put it
late.
back. No, for your sake, for my sake, for the children's sake. Please, Tobin, listen to me. You do not know what this could do to us. Please get it back.
Oh, shh, Nora. Oh. My dear Nora, I forgive you your anxiety, even though it's extremely insulting to me to think that I should be afraid of the vindictive ravings of some pathetic hack. But I do forgive you, because your concern is so very attractive to me, and it proves how much you love me. It's just as it should be, Nora, my dear. Now, whatever happens, I'll be able to take it on. You can rely on that. No matter what, I'll have the courage and the strength to deal with it. You'll see.
What do you mean?
What do I say?
You will never, ever have to do that.
Of course not. You're right. We'll face it together. As man and wife, that's just as it should be, Nora, my love. Oh, you look like a frightened dove. Are you all right? There's nothing to this, you know. It's all in your imagination. You know what you should do? Practice the tarantella again and play with the tambourine. I'll go into the inner office. I'll close the doors. You won't disturb me at all. I shan't hear a thing. All right? Oh, yes. Be sure to tell Rank where I am when he arrives.
You can't do it now. You will do it. Nothing can stop you now. No, you mustn't ever not anything but that. I just might find some help, some way out of it. Like, that's right. Any way will do. Dr. Ray, good afternoon. I knew it was you by the way you rang the bell. Well, don't go in and see Torvald just yet. I think he's...
What about you?
Well, I always have time for you, Dr. Ray.
Thank you. I'll make use of that for as long as I can.
What do you mean for as long as you can?
What I say, do you find it frightening?
No, it's a fun way of putting it, that's all. Are you expecting something to happen?
I've been expecting something to happen for a long time now, and it's about to. I just didn't think it would be so soon.
What have you heard?
I'm slipping downhill, and there's nothing I can do about it.
That's it.
Yes, that's it. These last few days, I've been toting up my spiritual balance sheet. Bankrupt. In a month's time, I'll be lying, rotting in the graveyard.
Really, what an unpleasant thing to say.
Well,